Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode from Tomstock Racing Tips. Today I'm looking forward to the flat season, which began last Saturday at Doncaster, and giving you 5 horses to follow for the season, as I think these could be some good horses to follow. And hopefully we get some bigger price odds right now than what they go off on the day for the big races. So one of my favourite horse in training in the flat is Love for Aidan O'Brien. I backed it all last season. She just progressed with every single run. She missed the arc last season because of the soft ground, so she needs better ground. But she's currently 7-1 for this year's Arc de Triomphe. So I'm thinking that's going to be her long-term aim of the thought for the season. I think she is definitely a deserving favourite, as I think if she had got her ground last season, I think she would have probably won the race. So definitely think Love for Aidan O'Brien is definitely the horse to follow. And wherever she goes beforehand, just follow her and back her because she's all class. And even though she's favourite, I think 7-1 is a very good price. Even though it's not non-run and no bet, I think she's a great pick at 7-1 right now, and it's worth taking a chance there because if she turns up on the day, I think she could be very short, around 2-1 or something, as she's just a very good horse. Another of Aidan O'Brien's follows Van Gogh. Now, last season he didn't always win, but he ran a lot of good racing. I thought he would be a better horse the older he got. He's 20-1 for this year's Derby at Epsom, and I think that is a great price. Aidan O'Brien will always have 3 or 4 runners in the race, and he might not be his first string, but his second and third strings always run well as well. I think 20-1, I think he's going to progress more this season, and he ended off last season very well with a win, very good win in a great group race. So Van Gogh is just a horse I'm very taken with. And I heard something about the owners, the big owners, they always name their horses depending on how good they think they are. And obviously Van Gogh is one of the best artists there has ever been. And I think that is genuine. That's how good they think is, that he could be a top horse as well. And that is a weird correlation to make, but I definitely have heard that's how they pick some of their names. So I think Van Gogh at 20-1 for the Derby is a great price now. And I think if he starts off with a couple of wins this season, he could go off very much shorter in the day. So it's worth taking a risk at 20-1, as I think that'll be his target for the season. So Mark's Basilica, another Aidan O'Brien horse, won at Newmarket last year over a mile, and he looks like the 2,000 guineas would be an obvious target. I backed him on the day, and he was very impressive, I thought, in the end, under Frankie Toy, I believe, rode him. He looked very good, beat a lot of the horses that he'll come up against in the 2,000 guineas already, and there's no real reason why the form will be reversed, I'd say. It's always a tricky race at the start as it comes towards the start of the season, as horses might not be, they're just starting off their season, so it's always a bit of a tricky period. But I definitely think St. Bart's Filly, he's proven over course and distance. He's 8-1. I think he's second favourite for the 2,000 guineas right now. But I think he's definitely one-sided for Aidan O'Brien if you're going to stick with him. So they're the 3 Aidan O'Brien horses I think I'd follow this season going forward. So hopefully, and I think they're going to be the main targets, which I mentioned about before. So hopefully they turn up in those races and they run well. There's another horse in 2,000 guineas I like for Jessica Harrington. It's Cadillac. Now, he's very ground-dependent horse. He needs good ground to perform his best. When he's got beaten, it's been on soft and heavy going. So I think you can just write off those runs. He has to have good ground, which he should get this. And now he's going to be coming to summer. So hopefully he turns up in the race. I think it would be perfect race for him because he looks very quick horse. He impressed very much on debut over in Ireland. I think he's got bundles of talent and speed. I think he's 20-1 for the race. So if you're looking for a bigger price for the 2,000 guineas, I'd definitely be looking towards him. Although he's ground dependent, I think you can probably, it's safe to assume that he's going to get his good firm ground. So I think Cadillac for Jessica Harrington is a great pick if he turns up for the race. So hopefully he will. And now the 1,000 guineas for the mares and fillies. Indigo Girl is 8-1, or no, 10-1, I mean. She's for John Gosden, and she was very impressive last year. She wears a hood, so she's a bit of a keen going sort, but she looks very talented. I think the more she matures, she's going to become she's just going to press more and more because I think she'll learn to settle better in the races. So she can come from off the pace. I think she's got loads of talent. She should be ridden by Frankie Dettori over the Thornton Day, as it looks like she'll be the number 1 for horse for the race for the team. So I think Indigo Girl 10-1 is quite. All the fillies are quite similar to each other, I think, in that group. And I think Indigo Girl, she held her form really well last year. And if she can progress again, she's had experience at the track. She came second last year. I think she will improve for the experience. I think she got a bit unbalanced on the camber, coming up the hill at Newmarket. So I think the experience she had last season will stand in good stead. I think at 10-1, she's a good price for the 1,000 guineas. So they're my 5 horses followed for the 2021 flat season. And there I've mentioned the 5 main races I think each horse will go to and will be their targets. So I think they are some nice horses to follow going forward. And there's just 2 flat jockeys I want to mention for you as well to follow. And one's Laura Pearson. She's £5 claimer, but she's very talented. She's very tactical. She rides her races very well to suit the horse. She picked up loads of winners over the winter, and I think it won't be long before her claim goes. She saved her claim for the summer, and I think train's going to use her very well. And I think she's definitely a jockey to follow for this season. She looks very talented and could be the next Holly Doyle coming through. So I think Laura Pearson is definitely one to follow. And one of the professional jockeys, OBrien, he's still very young, but I've been so impressed with him over the winter. He just keeps picking up winners at all sorts of odds, whether it's favourites, 20-1s, whatever. He seems to be riding out of his skin at the minute, and he seems like he's finally coming to reach his, not peak, but he's starting to get in very good form. He's going to reach the top level soon. I definitely think he's going to get more and more rides this season. I definitely think he's also a jockey to follow. And these 2 jockeys, I was you could back them regardless of the prices. They seem to always ride a very good race, and horses always seem to outrun the odds when they're on board. So they're the 2 jockeys that I think will have a very good season this year as well. They're 2 jockeys and 5 horses that for the flat season this year that I think you should follow, and hopefully a couple of them go on to win out of the 5 horses, the big races. So get some big odds now. So make sure to tune in and follow my YouTube channel, as I'll carry on posting some more videos in the future. So hopefully I'll find you some more winners. Thanks for listening.